Alright, today we're going to learn about how to figure out the volume of a cylinder. Okay, so we have our cylinder here, and if we look at our formula says volume equals pi r squared h. What that means is if I break this down, we have pi, which remember we talked about is equal to 3.14. And then we have r is the radius, and that comes from right there. And remember, radius is the center point of a circle, and then going to the point on the outside of a circle, that distance. And then we also have the 2, which means you square it, which means you're basically taking whatever the radius is and times it itself. And then the last part of it is the h, which stands for the height, and then that comes from this h over here, so it's the height of the figure going from here to here, and that's 4 centimeters. So we take that formula and we first have to plug everything in. So I'm going to erase all this and we'll get started here. When you're doing this on your own, make sure that you rewrite everything and you're always starting off with a formula. So I always start off with V equals, and I'm just rewriting this right here, pi r squared times h. Okay? So then I'm finding the volume, so I don't know what the V is. Pi, remember that is 3.14, so we plug that in. If we have a symbol next to a letter, that operation is multiplication, so we've already discussed that. And then r stands for the radius, so we have to plug that number in, which is 2. So we have 2. We put our squared on there, so our smaller 2 up there. And then we also have the operation in between this exponent here and the h. We have multiplication, so that's why I have the dot there. And then the h is the height of the cylinder, and that is 4. So we plug that in. So that's a first step. You take your formula, you write it out, and then you plug in all the information. So now we have all of our information that we need to solve this problem. Okay, then we talked about PEMDAS. So we have PEMDAS, and that's the order of operations of how we need to break down this problem. So we first start with the P, which stands for parentheses. And we look, we don't have any parentheses in our problem. So we're done with that. Then we look at the E, which stands for exponents. We do have an exponent there, but we can't just do the exponent part right away. We have to do some other things before that. So basically we have to bring down everything that's not being used. So we have V equals 3.14 and then times. Now we get to our exponent part. So what the exponent part is, it's basically saying 2 times 2. Now it's not multiplying that 2. It is saying this 2 right here, you're multiplying it times itself. So that's why we have 2 times 2, which would equal 4. So then that answer there would go in that spot, and then we bring down our multiplication, and we bring down our other 4. Okay, now we're just left with all multiplication, which that's our next step, multiplication. So the first thing we do is we start from left to right. Now, we don't show our work down below here, okay? We always want to use kind of like a workspace off to the side of doing our actual work. So we take our 3.14 and we multiply it by the number 4, because I'm doing this part right here. And then if we take 4 times 4, that is 16, carry the 1. 1 times 4 plus 1 is 5. And then 4 times 3 is 12. And then we have 2 spots to the right of the decimal, so our decimal would go right there. So now we have 12 and 56 hundredths. So we've completed that part. And then we still have to bring down our multiplication and our 4. Okay, so now we're down to just one problem left, where we have 12 and 56 hundredths times 4. So again, we want to have a different area for our workspace. So we take our 12 and 56 hundredths, and we multiply it by our 4. So 4 times 6 is 24, carry the 2. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22, carry the 2. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10, carry the 1. And 1 times 4 plus 1 is 5. Then we have again 2 spots to the right of the decimal here, so we go over 1, 2, and plot our decimal in there. So now we have V equals 50 and 24 hundredths. Now, since we're talking volume, remember our label. So up here, we're dealing with centimeters. And so our label would be centimeters. And then we're talking cubic centimeters. So our shortcut for cubic centimeters is a small number 3 after the centimeters. Okay? So our answer for this problem would end up being the volume of the cylinder equals 50 and 24 hundredths centimeters cubed.